welcome or welcome back to my channel. I'm very happy to have you here, guys. In today's video I want to share with you 10 fragrances that you could share with your partner, or in general just 10 fragrances that are perfect unisex fragrances. To me, I feel like they shine on a woman very beautifully, just as beautiful as they shine on a man as well. I'd say more or less all have a common theme, which is heavy fragrances. All these fragrances are, let's just say, more or less of a statement fragrance, of a fragrance that definitely, like I've mentioned, makes a statement. Is the type of fragrance that you can definitely smell when you go somewhere, you leave a trail. You know, I love my heavy fragrances, and these fragrances, I love them on myself just as much as I love them on my partner as well. Even though I have to be very honest, you guys, and to tell you that usually I don't like to share fragrances with my partner. And what I mean by this, look, the kind of fragrances that are like my true love, the kind of fragrances that awaken something within my soul, I like them on myself. I want me to smell like those fragrances. I don't want to smell them on my partner. In a sense, I want to smell like myself, and I want him to smell like his fragrances, let's just say. Even though these fragrances definitely make an exception, because surprisingly they shine on him just as much. Even though I have some fragrances that I absolutely love in today's video, but I don't know why, once I've smelled them on him, I love them on him just as much. Also, let me start by saying the majority of these fragrances are extremely affordable fragrances. Let's just say under 15 euros. Maybe some will be like 60 to 70 euros, and one I think it's a little bit a little bit more expensive, but you can find beautiful inspirations of them. And also, one out of the 10 fragrances is a fragrance that I would never ever wear it myself, but the scent that this is inspired by and other similar fragrances to that fragrance, I know many women love to wear that type of DNA during the summer, even though I'm not one of them. But if you have a taste for more citrusy fragrances, this will definitely be your cup of tea, just as well as your partner's cup of tea. So let's just start, you guys. Let me cut the ramble. You know what, let's start. Oh, I don't even know, let me just grab one without looking. Okay, so first things first, Ameer Al Oudh by Lattafa. Now I have here Ameer Al Oudh from, honestly, I don't even know, 2019, 2020, 21. I'm not very good with years, but to me this is a beautiful fragrance. Now, as you can see, it's not one of my most worn fragrances, because truthfully, on a day-to-day basis, I prefer fragrances that are a little bit different, but this one, layered with other fragrances, it adds a beautiful depth to other fragrances. This, you guys, this is an inspiration to campfire. No, this is an inspiration to By the Fireplace from Maison Marj. I wouldn't say it's like a one-on-one inspiration, meaning that I do pick up slight differences between the two. However, you cannot go wrong with something like this if you love heavier fragrances. To me, let's just say, taking out the opening, like not taking it into account, because it's not the best part, if I'm being very honest. It's a little bit sharp, it's a little bit alcoholic, but this smells sugary, slightly smoky, but a very warm type of woody type of smoke. The smoke accord is not very ashy, sugary, like I've mentioned, a little bit powdery, a gentle green aromatic facet in the background, almost like something coniferous, foresty like, and the smell of caramel or vanilla. It's like a caramelly vanilla combo. This is how the fragrance smells like. Is the type of fragrance that you could easily wear alone, why not? During autumn winter season, it's perfect for this time of the year, but especially layered. This one layered with other fragrances, it will add a beautiful depth and richness and darkness to other fragrances. If you have tried this fragrance, let's say maybe you love the DNA, but you are struggling a little bit with the sharpness of the fragrance in a way, because it does feel a little bit sharp, you know, it's not the smoothest of blends out there. There's a fragrance from Arabiat, from Arabiat Prestige actually, that's called Hypnotic Oud. It's called Hypnotic. Me and my dramatic reactions. It's called Hypnotic Oud. That is their take on the DNA of By the Fireplace from Maison Marj. So stay tuned, because I will do a review for that fragrance and a comparison with this fragrance. And also another fragrance, let's just say maybe I know I'm getting a bit sidetracked, but we are talking about fragrances, so what's the hurry? Another fragrance, maybe you love this DNA, but you feel like this is a little bit too masculine for your taste. Maybe you have tried Hypnotic Oud from Arabiat Prestige. You also feel like that one is a little bit more masculine for your taste. There's another fragrance called Star from Mauboussin. I have a decant, like a 20 ml travel spray of that fragrance. And I have to say, you guys, that is the most feminine take on this DNA. Between Campfire, Ameer Oud Intense Oud, Hypnotic Oud from Arabiat Prestige, and that fragrance, By the Fireplace and Star from Mauboussin, that is the most feminine one, so definitely take it into account. Also stay tuned again, because I do want to create a video where I will be sharing my thoughts on that fragrance as well. But yeah, this is the first fragrance. Beautiful recommendation, either Ameer Oud, Hypnotic Oud or Star, even though Star is more feminine. But this fragrance, just as easily as Hypnotic Oud, you could share it with your partner during this time of the year, autumn, winter, beautiful. You know what, speaking of Lattafa, let me continue with another fragrance from Lattafa, and I have here Qa'eed by Lattafa, a fragrance that I have to say it's one of the most unique fragrances from Lattafa that I have tried. And not just from Lattafa, in general, like the scent profile of this fragrance. I know for some it might be a bit more masculine, let's just say. However, to me, this is what I would call a unisex fragrance. And to me, again, this is one of those fragrances that you could wear as a woman, alone, layered as well, in plenty of different layering combinations, but you can also rock it as a man, easily, you guys, easily. This fragrance just exudes this powerful, confident aura about it. This opens up with cardamom, but it's not that overly green, aromatic, grounding style of cardamom that's very spicy yet green. You know what it smells like? To me, it smells like grounded cardamom, I guess. Grounded cardamom, powdered cardamom, basically. So it's still very spicy, but it doesn't have that fresh quality that's as pronounced, you know? And then I get the smell of incense, you guys. I know this has listed a leather record. To me, how the leather record plays into this fragrance, it smells dry, rich, woody, leathery, this type of fusion of an accord, let's just say a little bit of everything. But how it smells to my nose, or let's just say the end product, is the smell of a burning incense stick. Legit, it smells like you're burning an incense stick that's cardamom vanilla scented. You lean in to smell the incense stick as it's burning. You get the smokiness, but it's a very warm type of smokiness, and it's not really that ashy. You get the cardamom, you get the vanilla, you get the warmth, and you also get that dry, dusty sensation in the back of your throat, just like you would naturally get that sensation or that feeling when you go really close to an incense stick and you smell it a little bit too close and too much, and you get that smoke in your chest, basically, you know, when it's like a little bit like it's the same reaction when you smell this fragrance. Such a beautiful fragrance, such a beautiful fragrance. This smells powerful. This smells powerful and definitely much more expensive. Perfect unisex to me, but then keep in mind, I love heavier fragrances in general. When it comes to spices, to me spices are unisex. I adore spices in fragrances, you guys. I adore spices in fragrances. Like, they add such an exotic undertone to a fragrance. And even though when you think of spices, you think of cooking, you think of kitchen, like, to me they don't add this kitchen like vibe. No, it's the opposite. They add such a powerful yet very intriguing and inviting a little bit here and there. Yeah, this smells powerful and confident, and I love the smell of this fragrance. I hope the sound is better now, because I realized I forgot to actually open the microphone. Yeah, I hope the sound is better now. Now, let's continue with three fragrances. Both. All three are made around tobacco, and all three are like my favorite tobacco fragrances from everything that I have tried so far. I cannot recommend them enough. I adore all these three fragrances. These are like in my top 10 for... Realistically, it's impossible for it to be a top 10, but are like in my top, I don't know how many fragrances, top 30 for life. And in no particular order, let me highlight some fragrances, and let me start with a fragrance that I received amazing feedback on it from you. This is called Amber Oud Tobacco Edition. This is from Haramain, and this is their take on the DNA of Tobacco Vanille from Tom Ford, which is a classic in the world of tobacco fragrances. I think this tobacco that's very warm and it's sweetened up by a little bit of honey with vanilla. It's a beautiful combo, and the DNA is basically has a lot of dimension and movement because of the added spices. You cannot go wrong with something like this. To me, even as a woman, look, I wear this fragrance. Personally, I don't think it leans masculine at all. And I have to say, if you're a woman and you are interested in exploring some tobacco forward fragrances, perhaps you want to start with more affordable tobacco forward fragrances, definitely look up a sample of this fragrance. I think I'm on my second bottle of this fragrance. Yes, second. And I want to have it in my collection forever. I couldn't picture my fragrance collection without it. The amount of compliments I have received on this fragrance from random people, from close friends of mine, from now in autumn winter, this fragrance smells so put together and cozy at the same time. I don't know, I find this DNA very cozy. Okay, so let me tell you how this fragrance actually smells like. So this, like I've told you, this is their take on the DNA of tobacco vanille. So you have this beautiful, warm yet very dry tobacco accord. The tobacco is not lit, it's not a smoky or ashy tobacco accord. It's dry and it's sweetened up. It's almost like the tobacco accord is covered in something honeyed, with a few drops of something vanillic there to add a lot of sweetness and warmth and richness to the fragrance. This fragrance feels extremely rich, extremely layered, very dense, very heavy, but not heavy in a negative way. Heavy in a sense that it feels like it just like a warm blanket, you know, like a warm thick blanket of fragrance that just envelops you. So you have this beautiful tobacco cord that you will get it from the opening up until the dry down. This is the center stage of the fragrance, let's just say. And then you have a lot of spicy accents. I smell here cloves. You have this hot and cold spicy facet. I smell here cinnamon. I smell here also, now I don't smell it anymore, but when you just apply this fragrance, you also get something peppery there in the opening that adds almost like a crisp freshness to the fragrance. But do not worry, because the peppery accent tones down very fast and you're left with a beautiful spicy bouquet with the honey, with the vanilla, with the tobacco. Just recently I received a comment, I think it was under the review for this fragrance, under a video where I have mentioned this fragrance. I don't know exactly the video, but there was a woman who told me she purchased this fragrance after she watched my review. She loves it so much that she bought herself 3 more backup bottles of the fragrance. Was it 2 or 3? 2 or 3 more backup bottles of the fragrance, and she's very happy and she thinks this fragrance smells amazing. And it was a longer comment. It was such a nice comment, and I'm always so happy, you guys, when I receive a comment from you and you tell me that you purchased a fragrance based on my recommendation and you love the fragrance. It just warms my heart in such a way. I'm always the happiest when I receive this kind of comments. So yeah, in general, let's just say 98% of the feedback, 95, not even 98% of the feedback I received on this fragrance is incredible. Now let's continue with the next tobacco fragrance. This, you guys, I can wholeheartedly say, like with the hand to my heart, that this is the most complex tobacco fragrance I've ever tried. I can say that I have tried all the tobacco fragrances out there, but I've tried a handful of tobacco fragrances. And tobacco, in case you're not familiar or in case you haven't tried many tobacco fragrances, tobacco comes in a variety of different mixes. You don't always have the tobacco that feels dry and sweet. You can have a tobacco that feels quite rich and damp and a little bit green. You can have a tobacco cord that's like the tobacco you smoke in pipes. You can have a tobacco cord that's like the tobacco you smoke in cigars or cigarettes, and you know it's a very different type of smoky tobacco cord. So you can have tobacco cords that are a little bit more green, dry green, damp green, with spices, with honey, with vanilla, with spices that are sweet, with spices that are more sharp. Here, for instance, you have tobacco with honey and plum and cinnamon, and I think this combo is freaking delicious. And oak moss, and they listed an oud accord in the dry down. Rich woody, yes, an oud-like accord, let's just say, you know, not really oud in a sense that it smells funky. So, oh, by the way, I forgot to tell you, this is called Gharam by Junaid Perfumes. It's one of the best fragrances from Junaid Perfumes, if you ask me. And this smells unique. This smells unique, and this smells, you guys, like the way they managed to create this fragrance, it feels extremely rich and layered and full-bodied, and it has so many dimensions to it. No, this is a definition of a thick fragrance. This is the definition of a fragrance that has layers upon layers upon layers. And I actually think this quality, the fact that it is so layered and rich and robust, this is what makes it smell much more expensive and luxurious and complex and artistic and put together. And okay, so this opens up. Let me tell you how this fragrance smells. Like, this indeed is a little bit more pricey compared to Amber. amber oud tobacco, for instance. But if you have the budget to purchase something like this, I'd say it's around, look, if you purchase it from the Middle East, it's much more affordable. If you purchase it here in Europe, I say it's around 100 euros, perhaps 80, 90 euros, something like this. But if you're based in Romania, wait a little bit for a sale on this fragrance, because they do like 30% off or something like this, and it's really worth it to buy there, to buy it then. As a reference, I love it so much that I bought myself a backup bottle of this fragrance, even though it's not one of my most worn fragrances, but this fragrance, this is a showstopper, you guys. You wear this fragrance when you're feeling bold and edgy. As a woman, I am wearing this fragrance when I'm feeling very bold and edgy and courageous, and I'm feeling myself. I am dressed very put together, very chic, very modern. I don't want to feel too princessy, too cute, too dainty, too pretty, too feminine, too this, too that. I want to feel powerful. I want a fragrance that smells expensive. I want to smell unique. This is a fragrance that ticks all these boxes. Oh, I could just spend so much time smelling this fragrance, just like all these fragrances. Yeah, okay, so let me actually tell you how this fragrance smells like. Sorry, but I got sidetracked by smelling this fragrance. So this opens up. You know the smell when you purchase a box of dark chocolate with orange flavor? It's almost like you have a dried piece of orange that's covered in a very high quality, bitter, dark chocolate. This is how this fragrance opens up with that specific accord. So you get this beautiful chocolatey orangey facet, then a lot of cinnamon, you guys, spicy, dusty, powdery cinnamon. They not only add sweetness, but also this beautiful spicy kick to the scent. This scent, like I've mentioned, has a lot of dimension, has a lot of movement to it. This could be a lot of things, but boring and plain and simple, if you ask me. Yeah, and then I start to detect slowly but surely the tobacco accord that feels dry yet very rich. It's the same feeling when you lean in and you smell like a box of high quality cigars, you know? And in the room, let's just say it's very hot, you smell that high quality cigar box with that dark chocolate, orange covered dark chocolate, no, orange flavored dark chocolate box near it. A sticky, plummy-like facet in the background, and a rich honeyed sweetness that feels very warm and enveloping in a way. This is how it smells in the heart. This is how it smells in the, not in the heart, in the opening, then in the heart, and then in the dry down, you start to detect some darker, more grounding facets to the fragrance that, like I've mentioned, add a lot of depth to the fragrance. This fragrance feels extremely rich, but I can see that it's a very dark fragrance in the heart. In the opening part, and then in the heart, it's rich, it's heavy, it's layered, it's complex, it's impeccably done to me. But it's in the dry down where the fragrance goes darker and darker and darker. Beautiful fragrance. I would highly encourage you to try it if you have the chance. Of course, start with a sample, just like with all these fragrances. Try to first purchase a sample, see if you like it, see first of all if you like it yourself, then if your partner likes it, who knows, because these are like fragrances you could share with your partner. But in case you like any of these fragrances, then by all means go out and invest in a full bottle. As a guideline, as a piece of advice, always try to sample fragrances first, because it doesn't matter how much I love these fragrances, it could be something that you don't enjoy, and then what's the point of having a full bottle of a scent that you don't enjoy in your collection? Yeah, so the last tobacco fragrance I want to highlight in this part of the video is a classic in my collection. Is a classic. I don't know if I will ever go through this full bottle, because you need you legit need 6 sprays of this fragrance. I wore it yesterday, this is why I'm telling you. I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, I actually did 8 because I sprayed my hair as well. And I sprayed them around 1 at noon, basically, like 1 p.m. Today when I woke up still covered in this scent, you guys. The way this fragrance lingers on your skin, on your clothes, in your hair, everywhere, you guys, everywhere, and the trail this fragrance leaves. And also, I cannot tell you how good I felt wearing this fragrance. This is one of my most favorite fragrances. Like I told you, these 3 are like in my top 4 life type of fragrances, and this is one of the few fragrances that I genuinely feel like they shine the best in cold weather. You need you need cold season to pull off this fragrance, because in high heat, like in very high heat, the green facet can pull a little bit herbal to my nose, and I'm not a fan of that aspect. But if you love a bold and luxurious and sophisticated fragrance, try red tobacco. Genuinely try it. It's not a safe blind buy. I got a lot of mixed feedback on the fragrance, so it's not one of those fragrances that I have recommended throughout the years and people are like, oh, I love this fragrance, thank you so much for recommending it. No, it's the type of fragrance that some were like, oh my god, I cannot believe you love this fragrance. It smells few people told me it smells like ashy cigars to them. Again, nothing ashy. I get a damn tobacco, but it's a different type of accord. Some told me it's too masculine, too sharp, too this, too that. Look, all I can tell you, I personally love it. Less is more with this fragrance. Less is definitely more if you want to keep it refined. But the way this fragrance smells on me, I'm obsessed. And you know what? I told you I wore it yesterday. And when my partner came back from work and I was at home after running the errands I had to do, basically, he complimented me on this fragrance, so he loves it on me. Again, I don't think this smells like that typical manly man type of fragrance, in a sense that I don't feel like a man when I wear this fragrance. I just feel like me, but he actually wore this fragrance a few times. Not gonna lie, or he wears it every day. No, he wore it a few times, but when he wore it, I couldn't stop smelling him. He smelled so good, you guys. So this is an attractive fragrance, in my opinion. Attractive, very attractive on a woman, on a very confident woman, with her walk right, with her hair done, makeup done, outfit done, nothing too extravagant, but a very assertive, like confident, yeah, this is the vibe this fragrance exudes, and very sophisticated to me as well, and it is just as attractive on a man. Yeah. So this next fragrance, let's just say that it is a safer bet, a safer option out there, but just as beautiful as all the other fragrances that I have mentioned, and I love it just as much, you guys. This is called Royal Blend, by the way, from French Avenue, a sub-brand Fragrance World. The bottle is beautiful. It feels so heavy, so luxurious, so well thought through. Like everything from the presentation is impeccable. Like this, even as a gift, impeccable. Like the way this fragrance looks and the way this fragrance smells, you don't think it costs as little as it does. This is an inspiration to Angel's Share from Kilian. And I think you cannot go wrong with something like this. This is legit the type of fragrance that, again, just like red tobacco, just like all the fragrances that I have mentioned so far, shines just as beautiful on a man as it shines on a woman. You have that apple pie facet here that smells like an apple pie that you just have taken it out from the fridge because it's cold, it's crisp, it exudes coldness from within in a way, while maintaining this spicy appley aspect, but it's not a warm, just freshly taken out from the oven type of apple pie. It's very cold, like icy cold almost, with a very bright dry molecular woody accord in the background. This is how the fragrance smells like to me. This is the type of fragrance that you could wear it all year round, but especially now. Again, alone, layered. By the way, this layer is amazing with so many other fragrances. I wear this one during the daytime. I wear it when I'm going out at night time. I wear it when I do the groceries and I want to feel very put together. I wear it when I'm at home, honestly, and I'm not testing other fragrances. All in all, for me, at least for my taste, it's an extremely versatile fragrance to have in your collection if you love this DNA. I actually prefer this DNA to Gharam by Lattafa. To me, it has that added, I don't know, like je ne sais quoi in a way, It has that added something. To me, it's actually, it's the texture and the way the fragrance is done here. It feels molecular, you guys. It feels very modern because of this molecular dry woody accord that you have here. Yeah, I think this is why. In a sense, it's not fully opaque, even though it's a very heavy fragrance. Yeah, again, I don't think you can go wrong. As a woman, as a man, you could both share this fragrance. I think it's an amazing fragrance, and if you haven't tried it yet, I would highly encourage you to first start with a sample, but definitely try this fragrance. Personally, I love it, and again, I feel very chic and put together when I wear something like this, but it's a very easy to wear type of fragrance. It's not the kind of fragrance that you have to think I don't know how many times about it, it's not the kind of fragrance that you have to commit to it in a way. It's simply when you want to feel very chic and put together and cozy because of the apple pie like resemblance, something like this gets the job done and surprisingly lasts so beautiful. Now let me highlight the next two fragrances. Look, I can say that my partner wears them, but I can tell you this, I've smelled both of these fragrances on him because I wanted to see how it smells on him, and I love how both of these fragrances smell on him, but it's not really his cup of tea, let's just say, or these two fragrances are not really his cup of tea. But if you're a woman and you have a taste for oud in your fragrances and more complex fragrances, or even if you're a man, these fragrances are such beautiful fragrances. Let me start, you know what, let me start with the decant because I actually think this is a little bit more masculine. I have here Eba Gold from Junaid Perfumes, and I also have here Marj from Ahmed al Maghribi. Why I put them together? Because they have a common heart in a sense, they have common notes, but then what a Junaid perfume did out of this DNA made it go into a specific direction, and then what Ahmed al Maghribi did for this DNA made it go into slightly bit of a different direction to my nose. But like I've mentioned, let's start with Eba Gold. Eba Gold, you guys, smells like money. Eba Gold smells royal to me. The opening and the heart, very masculine. I can't pull them off. The dry down, it's where I think I could pull off this fragrance. As you can see, I have worn it a little bit here and there. You know what, I've actually worn it layered with an inspiration that I have of Santal. I love the combo, but again, I know it's not everyone's cup of tea. Let me tell you how this fragrance smells like. If you're a man, please smell this fragrance if you're a man. I love how this fragrance smells like. I love how this fragrance smells like. If you're a man, please try it. Like, even if you're a woman, if you have a partner or someone dear in your life, and you know that person has a taste for heavier fragrances, he's not afraid to rock a little bit of oud. I adore this fragrance. This, you guys, exudes masculinity, like a very mature, but not mature in a sense of mature like old or anything like this. No, just mature in a sense of like the attitude, the energy, the way the man carries himself. You know, it's not a boyish fragrance. It's not a teenager. It's not a fragrance for teenagers. It's a fragrance for a man or for a woman. But I'd say for a man most. So this opens up with an accord that feels green, slightly herbal, slightly aromatic, very complex, very layered, very explosive in the opening. It has a lot of things going on. Spicy green, fresh green, mentholated, a little bit herbal, aromatic, grounding, like I told you. Right, you have a bouquet of different green facets here with the accord. Now, how the fragrance smells in the last bit of the dry down, no, let's just say in the dry down part, it smells like you just used bakhor for your clothes and you have smoked them with an oud chip, basically. This is how the oud decor smells like. It smells warm, smoky, and very oudy. This fragrance as a base to layer with other fragrances, impeccable. Is just for my taste, as someone who's not a green lover. I don't really love green fragrances. It's a little bit hard for me to pull off the opening and the hard part, but the dry down I could definitely see myself wearing, you guys. But the opening and the heart on a man, just try it. Again, get a decant, get a sample, smell it in stores if you have Junaid perfume stores available. This is one of the best fragrances I have tried from them. Again, screams luxury, royalty, but it's a very it's heavy, it's a loud fragrance for sure, but it's a very sophisticated and refined fragrance at the same time. It's not one of those loud fragrances that it's loud because it's heavy and strong and very sharp. No, this is sophisticated, this is refined, this is royal, elegant. Yeah, on a man, 10 out of 10, 1,000 out of 10, I don't know. Of course, keep in mind I'm very biased when I say this, but I genuinely love this one. Only if my partner would have a taste for this kind of fragrances, only if he would have a taste for this kind of fragrances. Yeah, but you know, to each their own, everyone wears whatever they enjoy. Now let's move on to a fragrance that I can actually wear myself as well. Still, this is a unisex fragrance, and I'd say it's one of the least safe blind buys that I have for today's video. This is Marj from Ahmed al Maghribi, and again, to me, Marj with Eba Gold, with Khair from Paris Corner are all different twists on the DNA of Imperial Valley from Gisa Perfumes. The Gisa or Gisa? I don't remember. Gisa Perfumes. Anyways, I haven't smelled that fragrance, but smelling all these three fragrances, I can definitely share. I can definitely sense the common DNA. To me, it's the Oudh leathery accord. Here, the leather, I feel like it's even more accentuated, but the way the leather and the Oudh accord is done here and the notes that are paired with, it results into a fragrance that's not only a little bit sweeter, but also I feel like a little bit more easy to wear by women because of the added sweetness. So this is made around an Oudh accord. The Oudh accord feels like a rich woody accord combined with a leather accord. So it feels quite unapologetic, quite loud, quite heavy, quite a strong statement type of fragrance. But I also detect here beautiful honeyed orange blossom like facet and a little bit of vanilla that add a lot of sweetness. It's almost like they coat in a way the Oudh leathery accord. And also in this fragrance as well, I detect gentle aromatic green accents, but in a way they don't really take the shine away from the sweetness and from this leathery Oudh accord. Safe to say, guys, this is not a safe blind buy. This is not the type of fragrance that you purchase after watching one video of it online. It's the kind of fragrance that's either a love or a hate. And even if you like it, maybe it's still not a fragrance that you feel comfortable wearing because it's quite unapologetic. Because of the Oudh accord, because of the leather accord, because of the sweetness, because of how loud it is, because of how unapologetic in your face type of fragrance this one is, I would genuinely recommend you to definitely start with a sample. Don't even think about blind buying this fragrance. As a man, if you, let's just say as a man, if you have a taste for oud and if you have a taste for heavier fragrances in general, you could pretty much easily blind buy Eba Gold, even though I don't want to encourage you to blind buy a fragrance, so don't blind buy the fragrance either. But I'd say this one is not even as safe because you have the sweetness that some men might struggle a little bit with. Maybe even if as a man you enjoy that Oudh leathery accord and you can pull it off, maybe you will struggle a little bit with the sweetness. As a woman, maybe you will struggle a little bit with this Oudh leathery accord, maybe you will struggle a little bit with the greenness of this fragrance. Definitely take into account if you're looking for a heavy statement, loud, confidence, opulent type of fragrance for the autumn winter season that you could wear both yourself and your partner. Start with a sample, test it on yourself and see how you feel about it, but it's one to take into account. It's a beautiful creation from the house of Ahmed al Maghribi, such a complex fragrance. It really gives you a quote-unquote niche experience. For how much did I pay for this fragrance? Now, I bought it from someone, from the same woman who sent me a decant of this fragrance, but I'd say it's around 60 euros, I'd say, this fragrance. But to me, it's worth it. If you love it, it's definitely worth it. If you have a taste for this DNA, it's definitely worth it, but definitely test it first. By the way, for the majority of the fragrances that I have mentioned here, I have dedicated in-depth reviews. So in case a fragrance sparks your curiosity, definitely watch that in-depth review as well to get more of an in-depth idea on how it smells, what notes shine in the opening, how it smells in the heart, how the fragrance develops once it stays on your skin, how it lasts, and a lot of other details that I cannot mention all of them in this type of like sit-down video where I'm talking about 10 fragrances, because we would be here talking about fragrances until tomorrow, you know. Now let me quickly highlight a fragrance that I speak a lot about it, so I don't want to spend too much time, but this, my partner actually wears it as well, not on a day-to-day basis, but when we have more elegant occasions, let's just say, this is one of the fragrances he reaches for. This is called Majd Sultan. This is from Asdaaf, and it really does smell like a very royal fragrance in a sense. I've said it, I will say it again, I think this is one of the most complex, well done, expensive smelling, affordable fragrances that you can find out there. Not only expensive smelling because it smells very smooth and refined, and because it smells very smooth and refined, but also expensive smelling because for this price range, which is around 20-25 euros, you cannot find a fragrance that smells like this. Like this actual scent profile is very unique. This is a type of scent profile that you would find in more upscale, let's just say niche blends. Not even in a lot of designer fragrances, honestly, because even a lot of designer fragrances, they like to play it safe. Let's just say this is still safe in a sense that you can wear it, but it's heavier, it's a statement fragrance. You need an acquired taste, but I'd say it's not as challenging as this one is, for instance. This, you guys, this smells so beautiful. This smells like myrrh. If you love the smell of myrrh, like a warm, rich, sticky, resinous myrrh accord, with freshly grounded black pepper on top, a beautiful piney coniferous touch in the background, and a gentle woody accord. This is so rich and layered. Again, the only complaint, by the way, this is another fragrance that I've recommended throughout the years, and I have to say 98.9, let's just say, of the feedback I received from this fragrance is amazing. A lot of people love it. Some complain about the performance, some say that it's a bit too, what's the word, some women told me it's a little bit too masculine for their liking. Personally, for my taste, it's not. It's a fragrance that I love. It's a fragrance that I stand by. It's a recommendation that I stand by. And I think I will stand by this recommendation forever unless they change the formula. But if the formula stays like this, it's one to definitely take into account, even as a gift. Maybe you have someone in your life and you know that person loves heavier fragrances, you know that person is not afraid to rock a louder fragrance. Definitely something like this, I'm sure he or she will enjoy it for sure. The way they managed to make the more shine here is in such a beautiful yet realistic way. It does give off, in a sense, church-like vibes, but in the best way possible, if I can say it like this, legit in the best way possible. I only have good words to tell you about this fragrance. Test it if you feel like it's something you will enjoy, and let me know how you feel about the fragrance. But let me highlight the last two fragrances for today's video. Let me start with the one that's a little bit more expensive, and then I will finish the video with the one that I wouldn't really wear myself, but I can see why is that type of fragrance that you can share with your partner, not in the cold season right now, but in warm season like spring, summer, that type. The next fragrance, now look, this is a pricier option. I'm not really sure if I can give you an affordable alternative, but I do think it's worth it if you're looking for something like this. Look, this is called Santal Royal from Guerlain, and this, you guys, this is a rose fragrance with a lot of sandalwood and oud accord, but a beautiful ashy, to me it smells like ashy smoky cigar like type of smoky accord. But let me tell you how this opens up. So this opens up with a peachy accord, quite soft, quite smooshy in the way the peachy accord feels like. And on top of the peachy accord, you have a lot of cinnamon added. So the fragrance itself feels very spicy with the fruity fassa from the peach. Very opulent, loud, concentrated rose accord that feels again very royal-like type of rose accord. It's not that garden style of rose or that dewy, rosy, very feminine and fresh. No, it's an opulent rose with sandalwood. And with a beautiful, you guys, almost like a leathery, woody type of accord, but it feels, this fragrance, all in all, it feels extremely warm. It almost feels like it exudes warmth from within. This is the type of fragrance you have here. And I don't know why I detect amongst all these notes a smoky accord, but the type of smoky accord that, in a sense, you know when someone's a smoker and let's just say that person wears a fragrance, but their scent is mixed with the smell of smoke from cigarettes. To me, this is how this fragrance smells like. It's almost like, I know this might not sound very good, but it's like you smoke here and there a little bit, you know, like some cigarettes, and then you apply fragrance, and it's that nice combo between the smell from a cigarette and the smell of a perfume. Not in a sense that you do not wash yourself, no, it's just you wear a very expensive fragrance and you smoke, like you have just smoked, let's just say, a cigarette, you know. Very special occasions when you want to be seen, you want to be smelled, you want to be seen and you want to be smelled, for sure. You need to be comfortable wearing heavier fragrances. This is a fragrance that's loud. This is a fragrance that's not everyone's cup of tea, but this smells royal. This smells so royal, so opulent, so expensive and well done and luxurious, and it definitely makes a statement. It's that type of head-turning fragrance with good looks and with bad looks, because like I've said, it's not really that easy rich grab and go type of scent that everyone will enjoy. No, it's an acquired taste. Some will turn their head after you because you smell amazing and they're like intrigued by what is that beautiful, intoxicating fragrance. Some will turn their head with like more of a weird look on their face, perhaps like, where is that weird scent coming from? But in any ways, you need to have the confidence to wear something like this. Just like you need to have confidence to wear the majority of the fragrances that I have mentioned in today's video. I know some are easier to wear than others, but in general, these are fragrances that are on the heavier side. Like I've mentioned for all the fragrances, I don't really think they are fragrances that you could easily blind buy them. At least I wouldn't recommend you to buy them. Definitely start with a sample, test it on your skin multiple times. If you love it, buy it. Why not? If you're not sure, better not purchase it than to purchase a bottle and then to just have it sit in your collection collecting dust, because that's not really the point of spending money on a fragrance. All are such opulent fragrances, such royal fragrances, such bold and confident. Like, they emanate this very like strong, a little bit assertive, but a good kind of assertive energy, you know. It's like you're very self-assured, like you have a lot of confidence in yourself, like you're very put together, you like everything like on point, you know. The last fragrance that I want to recommend you is a fragrance for the summertime. I honestly want to recommend it to you now because I don't know if I will ever do a video of unisex fragrances you could share with your partner in high heat, because those are not my cup of tea. Like, I don't like to wear the same citrusy fragrance that my partner wears, and I don't really like citrusy fragrances to begin with. This in particular is called Rabat from the Diwani collection, so this is Diwani Rabat. To me, this shares a lot of similarities with the Junoon Oudh from Haramain. This one on a man, I love the DNA of this fragrance. This one on myself, I wouldn't really picture it. Like, it doesn't match anything. It doesn't match anything when it comes to me. But this one on my partner, you know what this smells like? This smells like you just peeled a pomelo and a grapefruit, and you get that airy, slightly bitter grapefruit peel type of smell, and that very airy, citrusy type of smell from the pomelo, mixed with a beautiful, almost like a raw green type of freshness. It's like citrusy, it's like fresh in a way, a little bit musky, a little bit airy, a little bit powdery, with a gentle woody accord in the background. But this fragrance smells very effortless, sporty, casual, grab and go type of fragrance during the summertime. By the way, if you hear my cat in the background, I'm sorry. Yeah, this is a beautiful fragrance. Easy, rich, sporty, casual, dress it up, dress it down, but summertime. I would only picture this fragrance during summer season, like spring, summer season. Now, honestly, in autumn, winter is not really the type of fragrance that I could see it even on my partner, but who knows, maybe, let's just say on a hotter day in autumn season, yes, but in winter, I feel like the cold temperatures in winter would make this fragrance feel a little bit too chilly, too, you know, at least for my taste. Those were the 10, I think it's actually 11 fragrances that I wanted to show you in today's video. All of these fragrances are fragrances that you could wear yourself as a woman, but you could also share them with your partner. All of these fragrances, I love them on myself just as much as I love them on my partner. Some of these fragrances, my partner loves them on him as well. Some of them, he doesn't really enjoy them on him, but I enjoy them on him. Oh, I love how all of these fragrances smell on him and on me. Besides this one I only love it on him, but I love it on him. For me, it's too masculine, but not in the typical masculine way. It's just, like I told you, I associate citrusy fragrances, citrusy, musky, airy fragrances with fragrances catered towards men, or more like masculine fragrances, let's just say. So this is everything I wanted to show you for today's video. These are 10/11 fragrances that you could wear both yourself and your partner. These are fragrances that, as a woman, if you know, or if you have a special someone in your life and you know that person loves heavier fragrances as well, you could easily gift to him one of these fragrances. And vice versa, if you're a man watching and you know your partner loves heavier fragrances, maybe your taste meet, let's just say, when it comes to certain fragrance styles or certain fragrance families, these are fragrances that you could definitely purchase for your partner as well. Why not? And just share them together, wear them together, and be a power couple together. But even if you're single, these are in general fragrances that I love to wear them on myself. More unisex, the majority of them. I'm looking at the fragrances now. None give me feminine vibes, like femininity. No, I don't reach for them when I want to feel very feminine and pretty and dainty. I have other fragrances when I want to feel feminine, pretty and dainty, just like I have other fragrances when I want to feel very sensual, more seductive, more mysterious, more, you know, like in my energy. All these fragrances, I reach for them when I want to feel bold, when I want to feel confident, when I want something that's a statement fragrance, that's loud, that's strong, that's complex, perhaps a little bit more unique, a little bit more edgy, a little bit more creative or artistic. These are the type of fragrances that I have mentioned for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Definitely let me know what are some of your favorite fragrances that you love to share with your partner, and why not, let's all exchange recommendations. But yeah, let me close out the video, not make it any longer. I will see you in my next video. If you want, follow me on Instagram. I will leave my handle up here, but I will see you in my next video. But until then, I want to wish you an amazing day wherever you are. Bye guys.